Hi guys, today we're finally going to be going over all my Disney World gluten-free faves. This has been so highly requested and I'm so excited about it, so let's get into it. I literally have been curating a list together for I think like the last few months, and I finally think I got a really good list. It's pretty long. Before we start out, I need to preface this by saying that I do not have celiac disease. Disney World and Disneyland does cater to people with celiac disease, so you don't have to worry about cross-contamination. While most of the things that I list on here are totally fine, you don't have to worry about cross-contamination at all. There are a couple of things, and as I go, I'll like try and list out which ones like you might have to watch out for that. But for the most part, everybody does really well. All the restaurants, all the quick service. So I'm gonna start out by going through all the parks and then we're gonna get to resorts. I'm so excited about this. I'm also gonna try and include as many pictures as I can of all the foods that I'm showing because I'm such a visual person, and if I am going to be eating something, I need to see it beforehand to like know that it looks good. I don't know, that might be a me thing. There are also a lot of other options than what I'm listing. These are specifically my favorite places to go, so just keep that in mind as well. There are a lot of options at every single park, every single resort, so you really don't have to worry if you have an upcoming trip for Disney World. I'm not going to be talking about Disneyland today because I've only gone one other time, and I definitely will say that Walt Disney World has way more gluten-free options than Disneyland does. But let's get into my faves. Okay, so for restaurants in Magic Kingdom, I have listed down first Tony's Town Square restaurant. I personally love Tony's. I always get the gluten-free chicken parmesan, and they also serve free bread at the beginning of the service, and that bread is so good. I don't know, something about like the free bread that they serve you in the Disney World restaurants is actually amazing. They're all completely pre-packaged and individually wrapped actually, so you can even take them to go afterwards. But they serve it with oil and like pepper if you want that. So good. Also, if you time it right, then you could like watch Festival of Fantasy as it goes by, which I think is just like a perfect thing. Next up, I have Crystal Palace. They have a ton of gluten-free options. It's obviously a buffet service. It's not one of my favorites. I would definitely prefer Tony's over Crystal Palace, but obviously you can't beat a good like character restaurant. And finally, I have Be Our Guest. I would say Be Our Guest has like great gluten-free options. I prefer to go at lunchtime. Wait, I don't think they do lunchtime anymore. No, I think that they do lunch and dinner, but you have to have reservations at all times now. Before you could like do walk-ups for lunch, which was so amazing. But I would definitely say that Be Our Guest is another great place for like, it's mostly for the experience, not as much for the food. Go to Tony's if you want for the food. For quick service, I have Pinocchio's Village House. This one is my favorite place to go for quick service in Magic Kingdom, and it's actually the only one that I have listed for this. I don't find the Magic Kingdom's the best for gluten-free quick service, so if you're going to Magic Kingdom late at night, make sure that you know where you're gonna eat, because a lot of the places close early and then you might be left with like very little to eat, so watch out for that. I personally love the gluten-free chicken tenders. I get those literally everywhere I go. They also come with fries. They're so good. They're very consistent. Absolutely love them. But Pinocchio's Village House also has flatbreads. I just try to avoid like dairy and cheese if I can, so I don't usually get those, but they are delicious. They look amazing, and I believe they also have salads there that are always so fresh and good. For a little snack, I have the Main Street Ice Cream Parlor. This one has dairy-free ice cream, and then obviously there are gluten-free options because it's ice cream, but I always get a scoop of vanilla and then I get like a peanut butter sauce on top. So good. Now we're moving on to Epcot, which is honestly one of my favorite places to go and eat. Starting out with the restaurants, I have Beer Garden. This is my family's favorite restaurant, even before I was gluten-free, because I've only been gluten-free since about 2019. So wait, how many years has it been? Has it been almost 5? 20, 21, 22, 23. It's been almost 5 years. Anyways, Beer Garden has always been my family's favorite. You get dinner and a show. You really can't beat it. It's all buffet style, so you can stay there for literally hours and eat so much food. They have so many gluten-free options, and I had actually met with a chef the first time that I went there, and he was so insightful. He gave me so much information. You get a little menu if you want that shows everything that you can eat at like the buffet, which is so helpful because then you can kind of like bring up the menu and then like look at everything there and make sure everything you're eating is gluten-free. But when I talked to the chef, the one that I had spoken to, his mom was actually gluten-free, so they were like super serious, like extra serious. Like Disney is already very serious about allergies, but he was like super serious about it because obviously his mom has it, so he's very aware of like cross-contamination and everything, which made me feel a lot better. But they have gluten-free bread, gluten-free desserts, and the gluten-free options are very good. I always get like bratwursts, and then I get a lot of sauerkraut. I'm like pretty simple when it comes to food, but they give you a lot of bread, like as much as you ask because it's a buffet, and then also the desserts are really good. Oh my god, if you go, you have to get the brownies. They will also heat them up for you. And what I always do is I'll go back and I'll get some of like the vanilla sort of, I don't know what I would call it. Like it's like a cream sauce. I know I said I avoid dairy, but sometimes it's worth it. I always get sick, but it's definitely worth it. Then it's kind of like a brownie a la mode. It's so good. Always ask for the brownies heated up. I absolutely love Beer Garden. For quick service, I have the Royal Eagle Smokehouse. This one's kind of funny because like when you're going to Epcot, obviously you want to eat like around the world and everything. I wasn't a person before I was as gluten-free to ever eat in the American pavilion because obviously I'm from America, but they have great gluten-free options. I personally get the gluten-free garlic bread pulled pork burger with fries. It's freaking crazy. It's so good. The garlic bread is like soaked in butter and garlic. Oh my god, it's actually amazing. But you will be so full after that. But it also comes with fries, super filling. You could honestly probably even split it with someone in your party. Next, I have La Crêperie. This is like one of my new favorites. It's over in the France Pavilion near like the Ratatouille ride. They have a to-go station, but they also have a little restaurant. It is a little bit more expensive in the restaurant than it is to go, but obviously you're doing that for like the dining experience, which I do like sometimes. But they have gluten-free sweet and savory crepes. They're all amazing. I love it so much, and it's honestly pretty decently priced for the size of the crepes. And as a gluten-free person, I feel like we don't get that many like fun snacks when we're like just walking around the park. Like I personally don't eat like any of like the Mickey ice cream bars, or like obviously we can't eat like the ice cream sandwiches, so I don't really have a lot of fun treats. So whenever I found the Crêperie, I was so excited about it, and it's so good. You need to go try it if you're gonna go on a trip. And then next up I have the restaurant in the Land. I actually don't think it's called the Land restaurant. Like it definitely isn't. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called like Golden Seasons, Four Seasons maybe? I honestly don't know. I'll put the text here so that I can correct myself. They have the freshest salads I've ever had in my life. I've loved the salads even before I was gluten-free. They're so fresh, they're so good, and they come from the Living with the Land ride, which I think is just perfect. But I love a good grilled chicken Caesar. So fire. I literally wrote down fire in all caps. That's how good they are. Okay, now we're moving on to Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios is definitely like my favorite place for gluten-free dining. First of all, Hollywood Studios has low-key become like my favorite park. I don't know what it is. Ever since I came back from Disneyland last year, to me Hollywood Studios just feels like the most old Disney and like the most untouched. Even though there's a lot of new lands, the stuff that was like existing before is like kind of untouched in a way. I don't know, something about it. I'm just obsessed with the vibe, and I'm also obsessed with their food options. So whenever I go to Hollywood Studios, I always try to convince my family to go to Mama Melrosa's. This has been my favorite again since I was pre-gluten free, and I feel like that's a good sign. Like if I like something even after I became gluten free, you know the food is good. At Mama Melrosa's, they also have a bread service at the beginning, so they'll give you gluten-free bread, a separate oil, everything like that. It's all separate so that you don't have the risk for cross-contamination. The bread is also so amazing. And then sometimes we'll get like the caprese salad. It really depends on like the vibe we're going for, but they have a lot of gluten-free options. I always get the gluten-free chicken parmesan. Disney just does it right. They know a good gluten-free chicken parmesan. Very good. And it's very consistent. And the vibe of Mama Melrosa's like on its own is just like so nice. We love to just sit in there like after we've eaten our meal. We'll spend like 2 hours like eating. It's the best. Now for quick service, I think that Hollywood Studios has the best quick service for gluten-free. I always go to Rosie's All-American Cafe. I always get the gluten-free chicken tenders. I cannot stay away from them. They're so amazing. But this is the one that it's not technically gluten-free, but another place that I like to frequent for a gluten-free meal is Woody's Lunchbox. I actually get the tachos there. As far as I know, there's no gluten or anything in like the chili or anything like that, and nothing in the cheese sauce. I haven't had it in a while though, but that's another really good one. Obviously not on the gluten-free menu, but Woody's Lunchbox does have gluten-free options. Animal Kingdom time. Animal Kingdom's kind of more of a sad one for me because I don't feel like it has enough gluten-free options, at least for like what I'm looking for, because they definitely have like pizza stuff at like the Pizzafari, like there's stuff in Pandora. I don't know. I wish that there were like more options though, like more of a variety. Before I was gluten-free, I used to go to Yak and Yeti, and I always got like the honey chicken, and I wish there was a gluten-free version of that because it was so amazing, and it was just like rice and chicken, but it was so simple and easy and fast. I miss that chicken. But anyways, restaurant, I don't really have a restaurant for Animal Kingdom. I don't think I've ever eaten in a sit-down restaurant in Animal Kingdom, like a table service. Never done it. I don't even know how it happened, like ever in my life. It's very strange. I guess we used to go to like Rainforest Cafe a lot, which is like right outside of Animal Kingdom, but I don't think that really even counts. On to quick service though, I do love Restaurantosaurus. I go here every single time I go to Animal Kingdom, and honestly, I feel like they make really good gluten-free chicken tenders. I know I've already mentioned these like a million times. Sometimes the gluten-free chicken tenders do change recipes when you go throughout the parks. It's kind of weird. Like everybody has like their own recipe sometimes. Kind of strange. Theirs are always super good and very, very fresh. Love Restaurantosaurus. Are they gonna get rid of that if they get rid of Dino Land? Okay, we'll figure that out later. But something that I just found out about recently was the Tamboo Lounge, and I actually loved the Tamboo Lounge. It's right before you go to Pandora. It's like on the way, but they have gluten-free churros there. It's made with like, I know that it has something in it. What does it have in it? Not rice flour. It's like a gummy thing, but it has like a sort of texture that I was like familiar with because it like reminded me of like mochi. Very good though, and they served it with a guava sauce, which I think like kind of changes based on the season for fruits, but that was actually delicious, and it was a nice surprise because those are the only things that I have listed for Animal Kingdom, and I don't feel like there's a lot of options there, so that one is a really good one. And it's also nice because the Tamboo Lounge is like very relaxed. Like honestly, if it's raining outside, I highly suggest going there because like there's a bunch of windows and you can people watch, but then you're like inside in air conditioning. top tier. Okay, now we're moving on to resorts, which I kind of have a lot for. Okay, Ohana's is one of my favorite restaurants of all time. Pre-gluten-free, during gluten-free, I absolutely love Ohana's. I love the experience of it. I love the live music. I love the atmosphere. It's just perfect. I love it so much, and my family does too. I personally love it for breakfast. I have gone once before when I was gluten-free for breakfast. Kind of an ordinary thing. I mean, like, it's like eggs, sausage, all of that stuff is gluten-free, and then they obviously give you like gluten-free Mickey waffles. But we always go for dinner, and we get so full for dinner. So for dinner, they have gluten-free options. They have like gluten-free wings. They'll give you your own gluten-free salad. Do they give you a salad? Yeah, I'm pretty sure the salad is gluten-free. You don't get any of like the dumplings or anything like that, but because it is like family style, you can ask for as much as you want. So I always ask for a lot of extra rice, and I eat the wings. I ask for like a peanut sauce too, because I find that to be really good, and I love a good sauce. Pre-COVID, they used to have a lot of sauces, and they got rid of them during COVID, which I was so sad about because they had some really good ones. But I get the peanut sauce now. Highly suggest that. You can mix it with the sauce that they give you, and it's pretty good. What else do they have there? Did I write it down? Oh, and then obviously like they come around with like meats on skewers. I think there's like pork. I know there's steak. Maybe there's something else, but it's always delicious, and you can have as much as you want. You will definitely get more full than you expect. And they also have gluten-free dessert options. I think usually they give you like a gluten-free donut with like ice cream on top. It's pretty good. And then this might be my favorite place to eat on Disney property, Captain Cook's. Captain Cook's is also in the Polynesian. It's right next to Trader Sam's. Like, it's kind of in that corner. I believe it's open till 11 p.m. or midnight even. It's such a great spot to go to, like right after the parks close, or no, sorry, right before the parks close, because you'll have to go to before. Or honestly, like in the middle of the day, you can just like take the boat over from Magic Kingdom or take the monorail. It's such a good vibe. I absolutely love Captain Cook's. I always get the Thai coconut meatballs. I cannot say enough good things about the Thai coconut meatballs. They're so amazing. They're so delicious. My whole family gets it. They just don't get it gluten-free. I obviously get it gluten-free. It's incredible. If you haven't tried the Thai coconut meatballs, out of everything, I would say go and try the Thai coconut meatballs. They are so good. Now we're going to Yacht and Beach Club. I have been to Beaches and Cream. That's a restaurant that I have on my list. I don't know, the vibe of the restaurant is really nice, so I would say that's also like a great experience place. They have gluten-free and dairy-free options, and you can even go to like the little walk-up window and you can get that stuff there. But inside they have some pretty typical like American style like gluten-free options. I think they have like, they must have burgers. I don't know. I'm not sure what the options are there because I haven't been there in a while, but they've got some good options. But Poolside Bar Place that's over by the pool in Beach Club have a few gluten-free options, which I really like. They have gluten-free chicken tenders, and then they also have like a gluten-free seafood sandwich. It wasn't like my favorite thing I've ever had, but it was good to have something like different. I think they actually called it a seafood roll. Pretty good. Like, I had it before. It had like scallops in it and like some other stuff as well. It was pretty good. I definitely prefer like my gluten-free chicken tenders over it. They used to have a gluten-free pulled pork sandwich, which was so good, and then they stopped serving it there. And I don't have it in here, but actually if you go inside of Beach Club's little marketplace, in there they have like their own little quick service place, and they have the gluten-free pulled pork sandwich, and they also have a gluten-free brownie, which is super good. It's also plant-based if you guys are into that, but it's pretty good. Big fan of Beach Club's options. Oh my god, I literally called it Poolside Bar Place, and that was what I left whenever I found the name. It's not called Poolside Bar Place, it's called Hurricane Hannah's. Please ignore that. I knew I had written it down. I wrote it down twice. What am I doing? I forgot to say this, but obviously all of the Disney resorts have like a quick service area, all the way from like the value resorts to the deluxe resorts. Everybody has like a quick service restaurant, and you can get gluten-free Mickey waffles at literally any of them. I don't personally know of a hotel where I haven't been able to get gluten-free Mickey waffles. I will say the last trip I just went on, the Mickey waffles were not good. Every once in a while, Disney will change the recipe to things, like I was talking about the gluten-free chicken tenders, and they had been like changing the gluten-free Mickey waffle recipe, which I don't know why, because it was really good. Like, it was honestly really, really good. They had reached a recipe that I was like, oh my god, it tastes like a real waffle. And then they switched it, and now the recipe literally, like, it cooks the waffle and it cooks the inside, but it cooks it so, like, it takes so much time to cook it that the outside gets burnt, and literally you could like open it like a clamshell. Like, it was so hard. It was really sad, and it tasted just like corn. Like, it tasted like cornmeal. So I don't know what happened there, but I only got Mickey waffles one time last trip, and I didn't even eat them because they were so bad. So just being honest. I hope they change it by the time I go back in December. Okay, now Contemporary Resort. I love a good buffet style or family style place for gluten-free because I just find that they have so many things to choose from that the gluten-free options are a lot more widespread, so there's more for us to choose from. But I love going to Chef Mickey's. I absolutely love it for breakfast. Breakfast is like my favorite meal of the day that I can eat at any point of the day. Obviously, it's a character breakfast or lunch or dinner. It's buffet style, and you can get unlimited Mickey waffles. That's why I love it. It's so good. good. I don't specifically remember like options for like dinner or anything like that. You'd have to check on the dishes, but I know that they have a lot of gluten-free options because I went there and I was perfectly fine. And you can, again, always talk to a chef when you get there. When you make your reservation, make sure to always put that you have a gluten allergy because it will print it on your ticket so that when you come for your reservation, your server is already aware of your allergy so that they can like better guide you like through the entire night. And then if you want to talk to a chef, if you feel like it'll make you more comfortable, they will always bring out a chef for you. Contemporary also has a pretty good quick service. It's right next to Chef Mickey's. It's called Contempo Cafe. They have grilled chicken tenders, but the thing is I think they only have it as a kid's meal. That's a pro tip that I have. If you go somewhere that you're like just looking for, you know, something that you can count on that's like gluten-free and like you know that it'll be good. Sometimes there aren't gluten-free chicken tenders, for instance, for like an adult meal, but there will be a kid's meal for it. So it comes with less chicken, obviously, but if you're just looking for something simple or fast, I would highly suggest to do that. That's what I do at Contempo Cafe, and then I also get like a salad, like a normal size salad, and that's really good. And usually the salad will last me for like a couple of meals. Ow, I have something in my eye. It's such a gloomy day in Boston. It's literally only 6 o'clock and the sun's about to go down in like 20 minutes, but it's been this color outside literally for like the past 4 hours. It's already winter. I can't believe it. Okay, for Boardwalk, I have the Boardwalk Deli. They have a mean gluten-free Italian sub. It is so good. They put so much meat on there. It's delicious. It also comes with a bag of chips, and the people are just really nice there. I found like that they're just like very friendly and sweet, but they also have like gluten-free muffins, so there's like also dessert options, which is just great because it's very grab and go, and it's on the way to Epcot too. So if you wanted to just grab something outside of the park and you're not staying at the Boardwalk and maybe you didn't find anything in Epcot that you like, you can always pop out to Boardwalk or to Yacht and Beach and just like get a little snack there or food. Okay, I just recently had my first gluten-free Reuben in Boston. Actually, I went to like this pub. Reubens are so good. Why is nobody talking about that? I have like never heard. I think in like the Lilo and Stitch movie, this is what I keep thinking about. I think in the Lilo and Stitch movie, like 625, I think it's 625, like the one that's like with Gantu that makes all the sandwiches. Doesn't he talk about like being named Reuben or something? Anyways, that's what I always think of. I've never had a Reuben and I had it here. Reubens are so amazing, and I just read that in my notes there's a gluten-free Reuben at Boardwalk Deli. So now the next time I go, I'm definitely gonna try that because those are fire. Oh my god, I'm so excited about that. Literally, I said haven't had it, but I want to try it. I think I'm gonna love it. Animal Kingdom Lodge time. Animal Kingdom Lodge has Sanaa over at the DVC Kidani Village area. Sanaa is such a special place. It's obviously a sit-down restaurant. They have something called the bread service. They have a gluten-free bread service, and it is so amazing. I understand the hype. I went there for the first time last spring, like spring of 2022, with my mom, and we were both so impressed. We went at nighttime, and I think definitely like going in the day is nicer because you are like out on like the safari area so you can see animals, but actually I think the only time I've ever been there is at night, so we never really get to like enjoy that, but we're fine with it because that's when we can get like last minute reservations. I have fallen in love with Animal Kingdom Lodge. It has been like a new discovery for my family, but we absolutely love staying there, and Sanaa is so good. But the bread service is very famous. Everybody talks about the bread service. We went there and we were totally impressed with it. I totally got the hype. They have a gluten-free version. The gluten-free bread that they give you, because like what they serve to normal people is naan, and it sort of looks like a puffed up like tortilla or something, like it's a thicker bread, but you can like sort of peel it off to like dip into like all of the toppings. What they give you when you're gluten-free, do not be afraid of it. I will also include a picture here. It looks horrible. It looks very unappetizing. The bread is like very like dull in color too, so it like doesn't look appetizing at all. It tastes amazing. So don't let the looks fool you because I promise you will be impressed. So they have a bunch of gluten-free options at Sanaa. I think what we had gotten, which was the potage, I have it here. But like potage, I don't know. We had gotten something. We got the butter chicken. I loved the butter chicken. I think we had actually tried all of it though, like the braised beef, the pork vindaloo. The pork vindaloo, yes, I tried that. That was so good. We didn't try the seafood curry though. All of that was amazing. It was so tasty. You can definitely like, if you get the bread service, you could definitely split it amongst your party, but it is so good. You have to try Sanaa. Now we're going to the Riviera Resort. I've personally never stayed at the Riviera Resort, and I'm not the biggest fan of the architecture of the Riviera Resort, but I do love the vibes of the resort, and I love the food that they have there. I always go to Primo Piatto, and I get the gluten-free Italian sub. But actually, wait, what do they call it? The gluten-free spicy Italian sandwich. It really isn't spicy though, and trust me, I don't do spicy at all, so I am a good tester of this. And I always swap it and get it with Romano and herbed fries. I don't think it normally comes with that. I think it's just normal fries, and there might be a little bit of an extra charge, but they're really good, so I would suggest to get them. But their Italian sub is so good. I would say it's better than the Boardwalk, just because like the bread is a bit better, the meat is different, so it tastes a bit better. I don't know, something about it. It is better than the Boardwalk Deli, but the Boardwalk Deli one is still really good. I love to pop over to the Riviera though. From Epcot, we'll literally come back to the Riviera, eat there, and then we'll go back, or we'll go to Hollywood Studios or whatever. But also if you stay at Pop Century, you can take the Skyliner over, and it's just like really easy to get to the Riviera, let's be real. Now, I have posted about the gluten-free beignets in Disney for so long. They're so amazing. You have to go to Port Orleans French Quarter Resort in order to get them. They have them over at the Scat Cats Club. For the gluten-free options, you can get it also with like a sauce, so you can get it with the strawberry sauce or the chocolate sauce, and the caramel sauce is not gluten-free, so you can't get that one. I personally love the strawberry sauce so much that I never have even tried the chocolate sauce because the strawberry is so good, but I always get a huge order of the beignets, and I'll even get them to go on the road sometimes because they're just so good. And I've had Cafe Du Monde beignets, and I like lived off of them when I was younger and I wasn't gluten-free, and they taste very similar. So I'm very happy with like the gluten-free beignet options over at Disney World. I will say though, I was so disappointed to find out that when I went to Disneyland, because I've heard so much about like the beignets over at Disneyland too. Disneyland does not have gluten-free beignets anywhere that I found. Like I know that they don't have it over in like their little like New Orleans area where the normal beignets are. Honestly, the reason that I think Disneyland doesn't have as many gluten-free options as Disney World is because of space, because they are catering to people with allergies like celiac disease, and there cannot be any cross-contamination. Honestly, when I think about it, there's not a lot of space in Disneyland, obviously, and they weren't worried about people with celiac disease like 50 years ago, so obviously there's not a lot of space in place for them to like add these dedicated kitchens. So I think that's a lot of the problem, is just Disneyland doesn't have as much space as Disney World, so that's why Disney World is a lot better at catering towards people with food allergies. But that's just my opinion. I could be totally wrong about that. For Pop Century, I just have quick service, and I have everything pop, which that's where you would get your gluten-free Mickey waffles and also like your gluten-free chicken tenders and fries, and they have like pizza and other options as well. Obviously these are just my faves, so gluten-free chicken tenders all the way. Okay, now we're at the Grand Floridian. I have Grand Floridian Cafe written down as like my little, like it wouldn't be quick service, it's definitely a restaurant. I know that they have gluten-free Mickey waffles there, and I mostly love the Grand Floridian Cafe just because it is close to Magic Kingdom, and obviously if you're staying in the resort area, it's great too. But for me, they serve brunch until 2 p.m. and I don't know of another place on property that sells gluten-free Mickey, well, like Mickey waffles in general that late. Usually Mickey waffles ends at, I think it's 10:30. I think it's 10:30 is like the cutoff for breakfast. So when I found out that they served it until 2 p.m, if they change that, I will be so upset. But the last time I went there, they served Mickey waffles till 2 p.m. still, and I was so happy about it. So if you want Mickey waffles later in the day, go to Grand Floridian Cafe, because that's the only place that I know of that serves them that late. And then we recently, because of like literally like a flash flood, it was raining so much like a couple years ago, we went to Gasparilla Island Grill, which is like their quick service option over at the Grand Floridian. But they have burgers and gluten-free chicken strips. They're open till 11 p.m, but they're also open until 12 a.m, but there's just like more limited menu options between 11 p.m and 12 a.m. So I'm not sure if there are a lot of gluten-free options during that period. It was kind of hard to figure out. So I'm not exactly sure what the menu is for like 11 p.m to 12 a.m. There might be like limited options for gluten-free, obviously, but they do have gluten-free chicken strips, and I got a burger, so I will take it. Now those are all of my gluten-free favorite foods, but I wanted to go ahead and like include some of my favorite drink options as well for anybody who's like above 21 and likes to get a good drink in the parks, because I've never shared this, and I do have my places that I like to frequent when I'm back in the parks. Every time I go to Oga's Cantina, I always get the fuzzy tauntaun. It has like this little like foamy stuff on top that makes your lips numb. It's actually kind of like a strange experience, but I feel like it's fun, and the drink tastes pretty good. I love fruity drinks. These are all fruity sweet drinks, so if you don't like that, you might as well leave the video here because that's all I like. But I love the fuzzy tauntaun. They also have a couple other drinks like the Jedi Mind Trick. I had tried a sip of my friends one time, but all of their drinks are really good there. Obviously Oga's Cantina is just such a fun place to go to if you are of age, but also if you're not of age. You can go there like obviously like with a friend or like with a parent. I don't know if you have to be with somebody who's over 21. I guess that would make sense because it is a bar, but like my sister comes in no problem, and obviously she's under 21, but we have a great time. I love Oga's Cantina. And also, little note, I just found out recently on accident because I thought it was a glitch in the system, you can get reservations for Oga's Cantina I think up to 30 minutes after the park actually closes, which I had no idea about. So you can leave Oga's Cantina like an hour and a half after the park is closing. It's actually kind of wild. Very fun experience. I would totally do it a million times over. It was so fun. Every time I'm in France, I love to get the frosé. It's perfect. The weather is always hot in Disney, and I don't know what they put in there, but there's a lot of alcohol, so I like the frosé. The frosé, and there's also this other drink that they serve in France, and it's like orange. I'll see if I have a picture of it, but I'm pretty sure they put vodka in that also, and that stuff is crazy. I'm a lightweight, and that one sends me. Trader Sam's is one of my favorite places to go on Disney property. It is so much fun. After 8 p.m, you have to be over 21 though, which is a bit of a bummer, and it can be kind of a nightmare to get in there sometimes, but I would have faith. I literally went there this last time with my mom. We didn't have a reservation or anything like that. It was literally like 30 minutes till Trader Sam's closed, and I had talked to like the lady, and she was kind of just like, well, if people leave, like you might be able to get in, but like nothing was like, you know, a for sure thing. No, I guess we got there like 45 minutes early because we ended up getting in there like 20 minutes before they closed. And I was so happy about it. We ordered our drinks and everything and it was all fast and fun. Trader Sam's is such a fun place, but I get the Oa. That one's like more of a shared drink because it's humongous. You're gonna want to share it, but that one's like super fun. Very fun experience along with that drink as well. It's also very tasty. The Polynesian Pearl is also pretty good and you get to take home like a little pearl cup, which is just cute. But I recently had the Tahitian Torch when I went this last time and that was amazing. I would definitely get that one again over all of, well, maybe not the Oa, but like if I'm alone, Tahitian Torch, so good. It is so good. And last but not least, my last favorite drink is the Italian margarita over in the Italy Pavilion in Epcot. I love an Italian margarita. I actually hate margaritas, but the first time I had ever had an Italian margarita was actually in, I think it was in Disney, and they used limoncello in it. It is so good. It like cancels out the tequila, which I don't like tequila, except last night I did go to an event in Boston and I had like top shelf tequila for the first time and it was incredible. Like I had a margarita for the first time and like I loved it. I had 3. I digress. But those are all of my gluten-free favorites. I feel like I probably missed something or I'll probably find other things along the way, so I'm sure I'll make more videos about this. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it in the comments below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys soon. Okay, bye!